Week 2 in the NFL brought new challenges for both rookies and a few veterans.
Oh, it's picked off! It's Makuba who's got it!
The Cowboys won a shootout thanks to their best player, their kicker, and the Broncos game ended in pain after a costly penalty.
It's good, and the Colts have won!
Welcome to Shutout Football. I'm Jeff Stoltzfus. That's Kevin. We're only at week 2, and the season is already throwing us curveballs. The Chiefs are winless. Russell Wilson led the week in passing with 450 yards, and every starting quarterback is injured, meaning fantasy leagues are starting the likes of Jake Browning, Carson Wentz, Mac Jones.
Is there no one else?
No, there is not, but there is the Week 2 roast. Eighth place in the Prince lookalike contest, Jayden Daniels had a hard time moving the ball early. The Packers defense was on him like white on rice. Speaking of the whites, the Packers were wearing their winter warning uniforms, all white, to represent the people of Green Bay. Even their cheese was gentrified. Young men were covered in lime and letters, like a Wheel of Fortune mass grave. Matt LaFleur was Matt LaFurious after defensive end Kingsley Enagbari started singing songs from K-pop Demon Hunters. Damn it, Kingsley! I just got them out of my head! Percy Butler flipped Matthew Golden like a signature dish at IHOP, and the refs all agreed that it looked pretty cool. Fans taunted Jerry Jones for the Micah Parsons trade via fence. Haunting, I suffered the same fate as a child. Relentless bullying through murals. Tucker Kraft made a buffet of the field. All he could eat on 6 receptions and a score. Much like your mother, this game had an impressive body count. Jaden Reed, Austin Eckler, and Dietrich Wise were all sacrificed to the boo-boo monster. Referee Brad Rogers had a tough time finding anyone to pull his finger.
Coach Quinn, you're 55 years old. What's up with the backwards hat?
Anything I gotta do to highlight this sweet-ass forehead. It's a gift from God, and it's gotta be showcased. Somebody behind Jordan Love was wearing more ice than a Home Depot parking lot.
Let's bring Terry McCauley in. We'll have a 3-way on camera here.
Hard pass, Al. I have a bucket list too, and it does not involve blinding myself with a candelabra. The Packers cruise to another victory. Let's all take a moment of silence for the Commanders. Nah, that's stupid. Rookie Quinshawn Judkins made his professional debut after he sat out the preseason due to an assault charge. Apparently, he thought he played for the Chris Browns. Joe Flacco made a bad decision, which he should have known when he started running. Nobody over 40 wants to run. He was picked off by Nate Wiggins, which led to even more running as he tried to chase him down, and eventually, the big ball stance. Is that what that is? Or are we juggling pizza dough? I'm gonna be disappointed if that's what it is. Lamar Jackson threw 4 touchdowns right in front of him. Rude. He used to live here. But Flacco would have his revenge after he threw a touchdown that in no way should have happened. Was there a second shooter? Even his family didn't believe it, which is a little deflating. Welcome to hell! Joe Burrow was murdered right in front of our eyes. Not again, Joe. They called it turf toe, aka Toe Burrow. Rookie Bayshell Tootin was booty scooting in the end zone. There was nothing too uncommon about that run. We take you live now to 2 men talking uncomfortably close. Household name Mitchell Tinsley caught a touchdown with only 1 hand and a shin. It's a checklist item for every Bengals receiver. 1 hand, 1 shin, get in there. Jake Browning threw 3 interceptions and still won this turd. Best of luck to every Bengals fan this season, as each game feels like slamming your head in a car door. Left tackle James Hudson was penalized 4 times in 6 snaps on the Giants' opening drive. The Giants had 14 penalties for 160 yards, and the Cowboys weren't far behind with 12 of their own. This game was a sloppy mess. All right then, I'm uncomfortable. Cam Scattaboo, which sounds like a live stream for a haunted porta potty, rumbled for chunk yardage and a score. They dragged this bitch to overtime, and fans' literacy was tested. Forget the beta blockers and chemo. Brandon Aubrey's leg is the only thing keeping Jerry Jones alive. Ben Johnson's return to Ford Field went as expected. Jared Goff threw 5 touchdowns. Caleb Williams was also present. Rookie Isaac Tesla made another cameo. He's building a highlight reel of exactly one catch per game, and it's going swell. You gotta give Ben Johnson credit for not locking himself in the trunk of his car at halftime. This was like watching a fat kid swim in a public pool in a shirt. Just uncomfortable for everybody. The Patriots were running the leather off the ball. This would be the greatest test for Mike McDaniel since eye contact. Drake May scored 3 touchdowns, 2 by air, and 1 running for his life from Matthew Judon. But his play of the day was diving on the ball after his center chucked it to fucking nobody. Malik Washington took a punt for a 75-yard ride after he went left instead of right. It kept them in the game late until Milton Williams swallowed Tua Tagovailoa bones and all, digested him, and shit him back out fully formed again. Mike McDaniels was shocked, I think. It was Mac Jones versus whole wheat human Spencer Rattler. Mac Jones ran the San Francisco offense as Brock Purdy was forced to listen to AM radio. Juwan Johnson kept dropping passes, but Rattler kept targeting him. No lessons were learned. He was finally rewarded after drop-kicking an offender, no notes, and caught a touchdown. Props to Daryl Johnston for showing me what I want to be buried in, something ugly. Spencer Rattler, who looks like a police sketch of a chia pet, threw 3 touchdowns in this one. He looked pretty good, but after a certain point, they're gonna get tired of losing games with Spencer Rattler and start trying to lose them with Tyler Shuck. Josh Allen ran wild and slapped at defenders. He also got a bloody nose, leaving the Bills sideline on constant alert for bears. Why does Justin Fields always look like he's just been poisoned? Fields only completed 3 passes through 3 quarters and left with a concussion. James Cook had over 100 yards and 2 scores. It's all they needed. Josh Allen didn't score all day, and they still won by 20 points. Good news if you're a fan of misery. Both quarterbacks were picked off twice. Congratulations, Sam Darnold. You just made the dumbest interception of the week.
No! Idiot.
Rookie Kaleb Johnson misunderstood the assignment and let a kickoff breeze by him with the casual negligence of an aloof matador. Olay. The Seahawks won't get an easier score this season, short of thumbing a ride from whoever drives that little cart for the wounded. Finally, the dynamic kickoff lived up to its name. Johnson was not on the ensuing kickoff. Good call, said the corpse of Art Rooney. Johnson can next be seen working at a toll booth off the interstate, where he will no doubt be letting every car pass unimpeded. Puka Nacua took a hand off the distance for the first score of the game. J.J. Watt refused to stand up on account he was only wearing a dickie, which is a real thing. Google if you dare. Speaking of dickies, Shamiri DK scored a touchdown on a punt return, but it was called back for holding. Just another play for DK, nullified by a penalty. Cam Ward did everything they tell you not to do, and it led to a touchdown. The Titans were absolutely rolled, but the rookies are showing flashes. How do you solve a problem like Maria? Bryce Young came out flatter than an A-cup. Itty-bitty interception committee, plus a fumble. He looked like dog shit fondue, but just when you write him off, he throws multiple scores and puts the game within reach. Who is Bryce Young? In Calais Campbell's arms, he's a goddamn baby doll. Bo Nix versus Daniel Jones, made for a delightful matchup. Shane Steichen lost his stuffing at an official. He threw his hat, a casual threat to the officiating crew that his shirt is next. He was flagged anyway, and Steichen knew what must be done. Pantalones al fresco. Bo Nix overthrew his receiver and was picked off by Cameron Bynum. The interception was nice. The celebration, top shelf. Involving a mascot, you have my attention and my respect, Mr. Bynum. J.K. Dobbins spiked the ball and drew a delay of game penalty, which ironically delayed the game. In the end, the Colts had a chance to win, but the point went wide. But the Broncos were called for leverage, a rule that no one understands, even the people who do. A gentle grazing feels weird to penalize in a sport where people leave in ambulances, and one where someone was brought back from the dead. Are there rules for zombies? There better be. We got one. He suits up every Sunday like he hasn't seen the light and been denied. What's the penalty if he eats a brain? It better be more than 5 yards. Mommy's little gentleman showed up spiffy for the regatta. Kelsey looked like he was on retainer for the Lollipop Guild. It was a Super Bowl rematch, but it was anything but super, as each team took turns solving the mystery of who crapped their pants.
Here's Bucker from 58. This is up, and it's pushed wide right and no good.
What a leg.
I mean, I guess.
And anybody can win one Super Bowl.
I think Jim Kelly would disagree. Kelsey demonstrated the proper technique for carrying a football, like it was deep fried in cooties and cancer. The only thing high and tight here was his fade. Kelsey bobbled the ball at the goal line, and it was picked clean by an opportunistic rookie. Worse yet, the Eagles ended the drive with the very play that claimed his brother's life. I mean, he's okay, but still, he's a podcaster. All right, everybody, stare dead-eyed at the camera like you're about to get euthanized and tell me where you want to be buried.
USC.
Clemson. Tulane.
Florida. Boston College.
The Falcons defense revealed J.J. McCarthy for what he is, a rookie. After they undressed him, put a collar on him, and paraded him around town on all fours. 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles, 6 sacks. Look away, Vikings fans. Nobody wants to see how hamburgers get made. The most expensive backup quarterback in history was there. The Falcons cruised to an extremely boring victory on the leg of new kicker Parker Romo. Dracula was pumped. Adam Thielen looked as calm as a Hindu cow, secure in the knowledge that even if he hadn't been traded, he was still pretty well fucked. The Texans were hot early. Nico Collins scored a touchdown because 1 shin equals 2 feet or a butt. Are these NFL rules or a barter system for cannibals? The Buccaneers staff played a hilarious prank, wrapping Emeka Egbuka and tossing Yummy Mummy cereal at him. Each quarterback was bent and beaten throughout the game, but there's not a medical procedure in this world that heals Baker Mayfield faster than someone talking shit. Tragedy struck late in the game after Baker's left hand smacked the ball out of his right. I've seen this before. It's called the Stranger, and it's a little early for celebrations, Baker. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's Nicholas Chubb, untouched through a defense more out of place than my Vietnam War-inspired musical starring cats, Apocalypse Meow. This appeared over, but Baker Mayfield is 200 pounds of chest hair, and before you could utter, "Nana, where'd the defense go?" Rashad White had scored the game winner. They said he gets stronger as the game goes on, and if that's true, why don't they make him play a game before this one? I want him at peak strength. Welcome to Vegas, birthplace of regret, and that tiger that ate Roy. Keenan Allen has brought some swagger back to this team. His touchdown dance seemed to promote sexy sleep habits, which I can abide. I love sleep, and anything worth doing is worth doing sexy. Geno Smith was looking for fresh air in a submarine. No windows. Dion Henley woke up sick, but he played anyway. It was bring your influenza to work day. He picked off a pass on the first drive, ended the game with a sack, and wiped out an entire tribe after coughing on some blankets. Tom Brady owns 5% of the Raiders, the only time in his life he's ever been regarded as a minority. What a sneaky way to undermine Patrick Mahomes' GOAT status after you stopped playing the game by investing in a divisional rival. Defensive coordinator Patrick Graham looks like he's silently judging your contribution to the barbecue. Chips, really? Justin Herbert was dropping bombs, and Greg Roman's assistants were in desperate need of affirmation.
Please, sir, I'm right here. Fist me, daddy.
The Chargers tush-pushed their way out of the end zone, and if they had just called it another 99 times in a row, Roger Goodell's butthole would have sucker punched his heart straight into AFib.
Do I need to be like every other football YouTuber and tell everyone how far away I am from 1 million subscribers? Because that is going to be like so many fingers and toes. How about you guys just like the video and we'll move on to the soft pretzel of the week. Yummy. This week, the pretzel goes to Daniel Jones. I know, right? Who'd have thought? Danny Dimes, now Indiana Jones, has the second most passing yards through 2 games. He's 6th in QBR and completion percentage. He's averaging the most passing yards per attempt with 9.3. And yeah, It's only 2 games so far, but the Colts are 2-0, top of the AFC South, and Daniel Jones is a huge part of how that happened. That and a leverage penalty. But still, the Colts haven't even punted yet this season. And while I poo-poo on people for ha-has here, I actually do want everybody to do well. I love it when Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith or Sam Darnold erase their ghosts and find success with another team. So kudos to Daniel Jones for changing the narrative. It was the Giants' fault all along. Thanks for watching Shut Up Football. Please leave your comments below, say hi to your mom for me, and we'll see you next week. Peace!
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Fist me, daddy.